Yellow and welcome to episode whatever number it is, because I haven't been recording, but I'm finally getting motivated to get back into this now and just need a break from the game really, but I can't leave my awesome stories hanging, so we're back here. I want to say 37 episode, but I'm not going to pretend I've kept up because it's been a while, but I can remember everything that's going on. It's fine. So let's just get straight into it. Have I clicked? Oh, the game has crashed. There we go. We start with new SmackDown General Manager, The Big Show, coming out, and he addresses how he's thankful to be the new General Manager here. He's not going to take any shit because he's a 7-foot giant, and he's swiftly interrupted by his two old associates, Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar, the tag team champions, and they tell him that, thank God you're here, show. Remember when we were a three-man stable, we made Drake Maverick wear himself? Those were good times. But they're like, now you can... We've got the Hardys and Lashley and Apollo chasing after us. They seem to think that they're worthy of a title shot, but you can tell them that we're the greatest team you've ever helped, you've ever come across, and that they don't deserve a shot at our titles. That'll bring the Hardy Boys out, who would say they need to stop kissing up to Big Show. Big Show is going to be a fair and impartial GM, and you want to talk about deserving tag teams. There's no more deserving tag team in the world, in history, than Matt and Jeff Hardy. And then whoa. Apollo and the mighty Bobby Lashley, they have been dominating Monday Night Raw and dominating SmackDown Live. You want to look at them and tell me that they don't deserve a tag team championship shot, show? You're going to deny this? And it's Bobby Lashley bending over, showing off his bum. And then Leo Rush would get in the team, or get in the ring even, shouting. The teams would start bickering back and forth. Big Show would shout, enough! As he stands in the middle of the 7 men scuffling. And then he would say, here's what we're going to do. We've got 2 teams arguing for a title shot. Cesaro, you're going to face one of the Hardy Boys. Sheamus, you're going to face Lashley or Apollo. Right now, back-to-back matches. If either of you lose, that wrestler's tag team gets a shot at Money in the Bank. So if you both lose, triple threat tag match. If one of you loses, just that team gets a title shot. If neither of you lose, then you get the night off. Sheamus and Cesaro, they seem to accept this, and Jeff Hardy steps up first to take on Cesaro at the Bar, and he scores the pinfall in 14 minutes with a twist of hate. Well, Swanton Bomb, but it's just... So yes, Jeff Hardy scores the pinfall over Cesaro, scoring the Hardy Boys a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Fucking updates at Money in the Bank. And now, Sheamus, after the match, would quickly jump in the ring, attack Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy would come in, and then the 4 men would brawl, but the Bar would end up on top as Sheamus curls his finger and calls in Apollo Crews, who scores the pinfall over Sheamus with a sit-out powerbomb. So, we will indeed, at Money in the Bank, see a triple threat tag team match with Apollo and Lashley, the Bar, and the Hardy Boys. We then get Mandy Rose and Carmella having a chat, being blonde, doing each other's makeup, whatever they do backstage, discussing a strategy for Mandy Rose to win Money in the Bank in next Sunday. When all of a sudden Carmella would turn around because she'd hear a kerfuffle, and slowly walking on screen is R-Truth, her old friend, comically holding this snake with these massive, protective gloves so he doesn't get bit. And R-Truth's like, he'd look at Mandy and he'd go, "Oh, hi, Carmella." And Axel would be like, "But that's Mandy." And like, just ignore him because R-Truth is just R-Truth being R-Truth. And then Carmella would sort of humour R-Truth because they are still friends, even though she's a heel. And she would like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm learning how to handle this snake because Randy Orton's getting out of hand and me and Kurt here, we're looking to take him out." And Carmella's like, "Oh yeah." And then R-Truth would drop the snake on the floor because it would hiss at him. And he'd get scared. And then it would like drop on the floor. That would scare Mandy and Carmella. And they'd all run away. And then that would leave Axel. The camera would linger on Axel looking disappointed with Truth as he has to comically pick the snake up and look after it himself. So the Snake Busters trying to get in Randy Orton's head by taming snakes and other things, but it's not turning out too well for him. We then get the other two women from SmackDown in the Money in the Bank ladder match, Alicia Fox and Kairi Sane in a match. Kairi just gets a nice win because it's Kairi and she's Alicia Fox. Big Show's in his office and the door slams open and in walks a furious Rusev and Lana. And Rusev screams at Big Show. He's like, "I'm glad you're here now because before you arrived, I was constantly being overlooked for a spot on this show. This marks like week number 3 of me asking to be booked on this show. I'm one of your biggest stars." And Big Show has to tell him like, "Well, I've already booked the entirety of SmackDown and you're not on it, Rusev." And then Rusev would sort of get angry. And then he'd turn around, but then the camera would pan and Shayna Baszler would be stood there. And Big Show called her into his office because he needs to tell her that later on tonight it'll be her and a partner of her choosing against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte to see if they can coexist against Shayna Baszler. And she's not happy with this. She's like, I could beat those two because they're not going to be able to coexist because their egos are going to clash. I could do this by myself. I don't need a tag team partner. And Big Show says, "Well, you're going to have to get one. I'll get sanctioned as a tag team match. If you're so good, you'll be able to team with anybody." And then Lana would sheepishly look over at Shayna Baszler because she was just kicking off about not being used on the show with Rusev. And Shayna's like, "You'll do." So it'll be Shayna Baszler and Lana against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. We then get a Michael Cole sit-down interview. He's hosting a discussion, a debate, or whatever it is. One of those sit-down backstage interviews with both Aleister Black and Daniel Bryan. You know, the ones where they have the split screen and there's one on the left, one on the right. And Aleister Black is pretty much silent for the whole thing as Bryan just yells at him about how he flukily beat him at Money in the Bank at Payback, and how at Money in the Bank it'll be his championship and Black's championship hanging above the ring, and Bryan will win both championships and prove once again that he's the planet's champion and that he beats all. And Aleister Black would shush him as he's getting angry at him. He would just say, "Bryan, at Money in the Bank, you will fade to black." And that's pretty much the whole segment, just them hyping each other, like hyping themselves up in one of those like split screen sit down interviews. We then get the Lucha Generation beating Riddick Moss and Dan Mayfair, essentially jobbers. I just like using NXT people for it. But then after the match, Rena goes black again until a man walks onto stage. That man being Mr. Court Moore, formerly known as Stokely Hathaway. And he says he's applauding the Lucha Generation. And he says, "Congratulations, Lucha Generation. You're showing your worth as a viable tag team here on SmackDown Live. But you're going to wish that you stayed on 205 Live because SmackDown is going to be too big for you. And you've just signed your name on the dotted line. And you've signed your name for a world of Pain. Then, smash from behind, Akam and Razor, the AOP, are here. They hit the double Super Collider powerbomb on the Lucha Generation, pick up Lince Dorado, smash him with the last chapter, and Court Moore is the new manager, Stokely Hathaway, of the AOP, since Drake Maverick is on Raw with EC3 and Mojo Rawley in the mansion. And Stokely seemed like a good fit to put with AOP, so... And they had Maverick before, and they were pissing themselves and all that. So, despite Maverick being awesome, him being with AOP sort of had already been tarnished, so they need a fresh start. And they're here on SmackDown with the former Stokely, and they've destroyed the Lucha Generation. Finn Balor is backstage with Kathy Kelly, and she's talking about Robert Roode's victory over him last week, and whether or not that puts him next in line for an IC title shot. And Balor, he's the fighting champion, he's the babyface, he's like, oil it, anybody who beats me, I'm a fair man. Robert Roode beat me fair and square, he earned a shot at my Intercontinental title. So at Money in the Bank, I'll happily face Robert Roode for the title, because if he earned the shot, I'm going to give it to him. But he does it in an actual, proper, decent Irish accent. Basically saying, yeah, I got beat by Robert Roode. That does make him, I'm a fair man. That should make him the number one contender. And I'm going to give him the shot he earned. We get the tag match. And it's Shayna Baszler and Lana do score the victory over Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Shayna beats Alexa because they couldn't coexist and Charlotte walked out. So technically, Lana scored a victory over Alexa Bliss and Charlotte here tonight. She didn't really get involved. She'd just been stood on the apron, like never tagging in, while Shayna fought both Alexa and Charlotte herself. And then, after the match, Shayna gets out of Dodge. Shayna gets out of Dodge. Alexa and Charlotte are bickering with each other because Charlotte turned on Alexa. And my echo's just gone off because I said Bliss is first name. And Lana's celebrating like over the top, like she's just won the women's title. And Alexa takes offense to this and says that, and doesn't say anything, just attacks Lana. And then Charlotte sees this. She boots Lana. And the two actual number one contenders for the SmackDown Women's title take it in turns in laying into Lana with their moves. Anything you can do, I can do better. And that. Main event, as announced last week, was two members of SmackDown's Money in the Bank, Andrade and Ricochet, in an AEB. Andrade scores the win with the Hammerlock DDT, giving him momentum heading into Money in the Bank. And that's pretty much it for that match and the show, which scores us an 84B+. Pretty decent show. Decent first show back. I am currently at least motivated a lot to play this game now, so I doubt it will be another two. I know I said this on Raw, and I said it won't be another 2 weeks till SmackDown, but here we are. But I generally don't think it will be. I do also have a bit of free time coming up, so I might be able to smash a fair bit out. But before that, we've got to smash out 205 Live, so we'll see you then. Paige here with Noam Dar, Kenny Williams, and the Cruiserweight Champion Tyler Bate. And basically, she's bragging about last week when Kenny and Noam ran in and attacked Flip Gordon and took him out so that he couldn't score the 3 points to get the Cruiserweight Championship match. So Tyler Bate no longer. Currently, everybody's only on like 1 point that is here tonight. So nobody's going to be able to score the 3 points in time to face Tyler at Money in the Bank. So that should mean Tyler has the night off. And they start bragging about being the smartest and how Tyler's the smartest cruiserweight champion of all time because he stopped Flip Gordon getting the 3 points. Then Buddy Murphy comes out and he's like, you may have forgot, mate, but getting 3 points isn't the only way that you can earn a title shot here on 205 Live. If I challenge Tyler to a match and I beat him, I get a rematch. And Paige is like, well, we're not fucking dumb. We're not going to accept a match between Tyler Bate and yourself here tonight because there's no authority figure here. He's still not here. I mean, he kind of is, but he can't be booked right now. So they decline the Tyler Bate vs. Buddy Murphy match. And then Paige is like, well, don't you have a match scheduled with Morgan Webster to start the show? And Buddy's like, you know what, I've got an epiphany. Why don't I face Morgan Webster? When I beat him, I'll face Kenny Williams. And when I beat him, I'll face Noam Dar. And this will be a gauntlet match. And considering I'd have won back to back to back, that will give me 3 points so I can face Tyler Bate at Money in the Bank. And Paige looks skeptical. She's like, no, we're not going to accept that either, you fucking idiot. And then Tyler was like, actually, I'd love to see you try. Go on then, mate. Because he's British, he would call him like, alright, mate, yeah. Yeah, I'll have some of that, mate. So, yeah. So the match, the currently scheduled, basically, it was going to be a gauntlet match between where Murphy beats all three. But then I remembered, A, he wouldn't have to do that because he could just beat Tyler Bate one-on-one. And 2, I have repetitive booking matches on, and if I do this match here between Tyler Bate and Buddy Murphy, it's going to get dinged at the pay-per-view. Spoiler alert for the gauntlet, I guess. Start off with Murphy defeats Morgan Webster with the Murphy's Law. That's 1 win. We then get a Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis promo to break up the action, where Mike is talking about how he's the greatest cruiserweight on the show, yet he's still... all the effort he put into A, come back from rehab, and B, lower himself to 205 pounds, we could be on this show, yet that's still not being respected, and he's still not being given the title opportunity he deserves. So he's going to be here next week, and he demands competition. Murphy and Kenny Williams. Murphy gets his 2nd win. Not really much tension considering I've just given away that Murphy's going to go all the way. We get another Eric Young promo about him coming to 205 Live, him also lowering his weight down. But unlike Mike Kanellis, he's actually a lightweight. And doesn't have a wife that he's got terrible chemistry with. Main event. Oh my god. Buddy Murphy defeats Noam Dar, guys. So he beats both of the Dogs bollocks and Morgan Webster, giving him 3 victories, making Buddy Murphy your number 1 contender. Also, I absolutely do not expect you to remember this, but Noam Dar was on the board and he just got wiped off because he got beat. That's 205 Live. Buddy Murphy was far too much used, even though he's my top star. I am going to be interested to see what the stand of his pop, because he did win 3 matches in one night. But yeah, that's the end of 205 Live, and hopefully, not in 2 weeks' time, I'll be back with the go-home edition of Raw for Money in the Bank. I'll see you then.